Hello and welcome to this Helidon release digest video. Today we're going to talk about the newest and coolest release, which is version 2.4.0, which has a lot of really cool new features. Let's get acquainted with them. Of course, the main thing is now that we fully support Java 17. As you know, it has been released this September, and technically this is the industry standard for Java for coming years, since Java 17 is LTS release. And now, with version 2.4.0, Helidon now fully supports Java 17. That means that you can write your microservices with Helidon and the coolest and newest features which Java 17 provides you. They will work out of the box. No compatibility issues, just go there, migrate, and enjoy these new features. Next big thing is that we now have even more OCI support. You know that Helidon, we have a special handling for OCI. That means that we provide our own custom integrations with it. We don't depend on any other libraries. That means that it's highly secure and very, very fast without any additional dependencies. So with this release, we have OCI ITP service integration, we have wallet management, we have easy connection and data source configuration, and we are also evolving the services that we already provide, which are the object storage and vault. They now have health checks. So we highly encourage you, whenever you use OCI, to migrate to Helidon 2.4.0 to enjoy the benefits of integrations with these services. So if you want to know more about the integrations or custom integrations that we actually provide, just follow that link when the author of them, Thomas Langer, provides complete information about how to use them and what actually we do provide there. Next big thing is long-awaiting, long-running action. So Daniel Ketch, our developer, has put tremendous efforts to make this available to you. As I say LRA, I mean micro-profile LRA, which is actually the implementation of a well-known Saga pattern. As you know, microservices live in this distributed world. So to make distributed transaction there, Saga pattern was invented, and we now in Helidon can actually use it. So Helidon may work together with well-known Narayana coordinator, but we also have our own experimental support, which is available to you directly. So actually what I say coordinator, what I mean, so in LRA there are two main components. So first of all, these are the participants, which are the typical JavaScript microservices, which will be involved in transactions. So you know that your transaction can include multiple service calls, and to coordinate those multiple service calls, you have so-called LRA coordinator, which actually knows about all the participants in one transaction and controls the transaction, how it goes. If it's completed, it just says that everything's okay. Whenever something goes wrong, it calls the compensate actions to roll back everything which is not needed in this transaction. So that means that this is the sequence diagram. So we have one service, we have LRA, which actually take care for controlling everything. They have multiple services, they do register, and whenever something goes wrong, compensate actions will be called. And for that, Microprofile has developed a specification. By the way, as far as I know, it's already completed with several annotations. So first of all, we declare our services with LRA annotation. We declare that they are like under control of LRA coordinator. Then, as you can just read them, we have annotation saying that this method will be called if the action is completed. We can check the status, and if something goes wrong, the method annotated with compensate annotation will be called by LRA to roll back any transaction changes. So let us actually have a look and play with it a little bit. So as you see, I've already started some of the services for you. So as you see, we have our Helidon LRA coordinator already running on port 8070. So what does that mean? Actually, as you see, it's just a main file when you can just run it directly from the IDE. It's really fast. And let us go to our LRA example. So it's once again, it's already in the example, so you just go ahead and play it or use it as a template for your projects. So let's go to the terminal and play with it. So we just run this program. So java -jar target and LRA coordinator example. Yes, it will run. You see, it's really fast. You see, we all have LRA function feature. It's still experimental. So what does that mean? That means that we have it, but it's a subject to change in the future. So we declare it as something that may change, but it's already there and it follows the specification. Okay, let us actually see what there is in this example. So just the application, and as you see, we have some application which has additional annotations like LRA. That means that whenever we start this example, LRA coordinator will know that there are some actions that will participate in transaction. We have a method for compensate. That means if we receive an action to compensate something, that something went wrong, this action will be called compensate. And whenever something goes smoothly, the complete method will be called. Let us play with it. So I will use curls and say, like, for example, I initiate transaction and it goes smoothly. So that means that our LRA knows that transaction with such an impressive ID just run, and it's running smoothly. Let us have a look up on the LRA coordinator itself. Yes, everything is okay. Nothing was broken, and no additional information required. But if, for example, we do something wrong, which is like curl. Just a second. So yes, curl, not the unset. We will just put something wrong, like boo. This will initiate an exception for us, and this exception actually is written here that something went totally wrong and we have to roll back. And as you see, LRA coordinator itself will say, okay, I've received something which has to be compensated, and he did compensate, and actually he called this method, and you see LRA works so nice. So that's just a very brief overview how it works. There will be a separate video for that, I guess from Daniel Kesh himself, when he'll get good and verbose explanation about what actually LRA is and how to use it in a good way. Next big thing is the integration with technology called Microstream. So probably not so famous, but I believe it's a really game changer in the industry. So what is Microstream? It positions itself as a high-performance Java native persistent. So you can store any and load any objects like Java objects, object graphs, or any subgraphs without actually dealing with heavyweight ORMs, etc. So that means that you have ultra high throughput, really minimal latencies. So it can work with ultra fast in-memory database applications. So it's really cool. So what is it based actually on? So it's a completely new serialization. That means that whenever you have object and sub-object, you don't have to serialize all the graph. You can serialize only partially graph, and those guys really have made a lot of effort to make this serialization really cool. So, and based on that serialization, you can actually play with storing objects and loading objects directly without all this object relational mapping. So what does that mean? That in Helidon, we provide a full integration for working with it. So that means that it's not only like using that technology, but you can read all the configuration directly from Helidon config and set everything up with your code with in terms of MP with annotations, in terms of SE with just pure Java code. And let us actually have a look at it. So Hell array, we don't need it anymore. Thank you so much. It works perfectly. Let me just stop the server to save some ports. And let us go to the Microstream. So I've already compiled it to you. This is our famous, very known greeting application that we usually use for the demos. This application is really like straightforward. So we just greet our users. But what's cool with it, that every time we add a new greeting, this greeting will be stored. So let us actually see how it works. So we will just use target and integrations with the Microstream. Let us make it run. It runs really fast. Yes, and yes, we'll just take a look at this curl. So whenever you have this greeting, so nothing special here. So we just greet with hello world. But for example, if we add another greeting, which is like howdy, this greeting will be persisted. So what does that mean? So whenever we call hello world, next time it will be howdy. Yes, it just takes random. But the funny thing happens here. So if we stop the server and run it again, by the way, look how fast it runs. It's MP with storage, with persistence. So whenever we run it, and you continue to get this annotations, so it's not lost, it's stored. And it's stored here. So I'll use just local storage for that. And this local storage persisted the data, like in file. And once again, it's done completely easy in terms of actually storing. That means that you just have a storage and you store the object there, and that's it. You don't have to care about big like ORMs, JPAs, hibernates, etc. It simply works. The same stuff we actually have for Helidon SE, by the way. So let us play with it for a second. So we'll just run it. So that means that you still have this the same annotations with SE. Let me just write the right name. It runs, I believe, even faster here. So it also have this greetings. It waits for it. So we'll just use curl 8080, and so we can add additional dependencies here. Like greet. It simply works. But more than that, we also have as I say, integration. That means that not only reading the configuration, but we also provide like health checks. What was the GQ, I guess? Yes. That means that with this integration, it also cares about Microstream, if the Microstream is up and running and if the health checks are okay. So that's why I say full integration, which is extremely cool. So the same is for actually metrics. So you just can read metrics and it will provide metrics information also for Microstream. Yes, it's somewhere here, just believe me. Yes, so that means that Microstream, once again, is really a, I would say, industry game changer, and I wish this guy have a lot of users. And from our side, I can say that Helidon already provides this full integration, which is awesome. Okay, next thing is that now we have configuration profiles. finally, I would say. So we now fully support a microprofile config from microprofile version 2.0. So we now have dev, test, and production configuration profiles. Just use them in our code. Examples are also available in our official examples repo. Another thing just to mention is that we have now implemented the chap 290 for serialization filtering. So now this chap allows incoming streams of object serialization data to be filtered in order to improve both security and robustness. Helidon now warns users if application use permissive filtering. Yes, and actually this chap is there for you to serve your security. So it's already available with 2.4.0 version. So security update. Once again, another good reason to migrate to this version of Helidon. Yes, we now work with Oracle UCP version 21.3, both in native image build. A lot of work has been done there. So you can use this in native builds as well. And some improvements to the Oracle ID Connect integrations, like so we have now logout support, we have OEM support, and improved IDCS integration. So for OpenID, so we have a really high demand of this thing, so we put some really tremendous effort there to fulfill these demands. Now all of this support is available to you. Actually, there are more than 100 enhancements and bug fixes in Helidon version 2.0, 2.4.0, so I really highly encourage you to migrate to this version so you can both enjoy the new integrations and actually be more secure, be faster, and develop your microservices with Java 17 as well. So just do it at whenever you have something to say. Just go ahead to our official website, and not website, actually GitHub repository, and submit an issue. But I mentioned the website. There is also something new which is coming, and it is exactly the new website. Yes, Helidon.io finally has a very, very nice new website. You see, it's really beautiful design. It has good description of what Helidon is. The information is very nicely readable. You know about the features, you know about the parameters which are there, you know, the ecosystem, and haha, here you see something changed. We have our danger zone, as I said, or I would say the description of Helidon SE, which we sometimes call the danger zone, but it's actually like a power zone to us, which allows you to use really all the performance of Java without magic from MP. So here is the explanation of it. And we have some community zone, which means that all of the upcoming events are visible here. Just stay connected. You see, it's SPI, all the data is here. You don't have to click, wait something to change, or see some carousels for that. Everything is here, and is both available in dark mode and light mode, so it's just whatever you prefer. Yes, just visit our new website and enjoy it. So with that, I actually want to say a huge thank you, and I highly encourage you to migrate to Helidon version 2.4.0. Hope you like this digest. Bye bye.